Greetings, I'm Miles Sharp, in the fourth year computer science scholar from Palm Beach County, Florida, and this is our presentation, Vote.AI.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Nasser Hello.
Hello, I'm Renaya Sampri, and this is Vote AI. What is Vote AI? Vote AI is a secure AI powered platform designed to streamline and safeguard the voting process on a government authorized network. It helps citizens access accurate, personalized voting information, verify their eligibility, and cast their votes securely. For this presentation, we'll be going over the system analysis and design focus titles, evaluation and iterative development, collaboration and stakeholder engagement, ethics, legalities, and security, and project management and scope.
System analysis and design focus titles. We can start with the system architecture behind Vote.AI at its core. Vote.AI is built to be secure, transparent, and user centered. The goal is to give users, especially voters, a digital space where they can confidently interact with ballots, understand candidates, and access real time election data without the confusion that typically comes with traditional platforms. Our system is composed of well integrated components. It starts with the user ballot interface, which is where users interact with the ballot content on the back end. We've implemented a verification resource system that tallies encrypted votes and feeds directly into the dynamic candidate summary engine. This model allows for real time updates, maintaining both speed and accuracy while ensuring every vote counts and is properly the work counted. Breakdown structure. We structure Vote.AI's development using a work breakdown structure, which focuses on four critical areas: website development, the voter database, ballot information integration, and AI generated summaries. Each area has its own timeline and deliverables. For example, we aim to complete the web design by March 30th, and we gathered voter data by May 15th, and organized ballot content by July, and ensured all summaries were attached by September 1st. This timeline keeps the project on track while ensuring we don't sacrifice quality or the compliance.
Now, on to evaluation and iterative development. Iterative design. To ensure Vote AI meets user expectations and accessibility needs, we adapted an iterative prototype approach throughout the design process. Initial wireframes and mockups of the voting interface were created to test core features such as ballot selections, candidate summaries, and authentication flow.
Then we brought in real users, students, faculty, and community members to test these prototypes. Their feedback helped us refine the design. For example, we simplified the navigation, improved visual hierarchy, and made the interface more mobile friendly. This process helped us build something more intuitive and user centered. Collaboration and stakeholder engagement. Vote.AI was built through close collaboration with users, developers, and election officials. From the beginning, we made sure to include feedback through interviews and review sessions. This helped shape essential features like secure vote storage and a user-friendly interface, and build trust with stakeholders. We also took a stakeholder-driven approach. That means we worked closely with key partners to define the goals, scope, and deliverables of the project. Regular feedback from election offices and technical teams helped us stay aligned with legal, usability, and technical standards. This collaborative method made the platform more reliable and responsive to real world needs.
Ethics, legalities, and security. Because we're dealing with election data, trust is everything. That's why Vote.AI was built around six core principles: data privacy, security, accessibility, transparency, ethical AI use, and legal compliance. All user data is protected using strict privacy protocols and encryption. And we've added multi-factor authentication to secure records and maintain the anonymity. We prioritize accessibility so that users of all abilities can navigate the platform, and we also took transparency seriously. Voters should know their information is used and that the AI isn't pushing any hidden agenda. Our AI generated summaries were crafted to inform, not influence, while we carefully engineered them to remain neutral so that users can make confident, unbiased decisions. Finally, Vote.AI is built to comply with election laws, data privacy, regulations, and to record and keeping standards, ensuring legal adherence at every level.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Dalen Rollins, and today I will be going over the project management and scope for Vote.AI. First, on the next page, we have a website mockup, and this is the home or landing page. This is what users will see immediately after they input their social security number and their first and last name. We have ballot information and a sample ballot with candidate information on there so that because this is a new feature, people need to get used to how it is going to look and what they are going to be seeing before they start the voting process, because once they start, they'll not be able to stop. Just like in the regular voting system, once you start voting, that is your vote. Like, that is your time to vote. Next, we have a picture of what the ballot will look like. So we have a picture of the candidate, and we also have a brief description of what the candidate stands for, what they do, and along with their name and position on top of the picture and description. And lastly, we have a sample ballot with candidate information. We have an example of checking a person who they voted for and that had the name, their political party, and the AI generated description underneath them. Next, we have our data flow diagram. The updated data flow diagram represents a more organized and refined view of the system compared to the original. It clearly outlines the logical sequence of actions from user authentication, voter selection, encryption, verification, and result updates. The first data flow diagram, as we see, is very simple, very basic. It has users log into the screen, users begin voting, ballot is displayed. In the next one, ballot is displayed, voting commences, votes are tallied and given to government officials. Very, simplistic, type of thinking. So next, we have the new data flow diagram, which goes more into detail of how each component, like that is selected on the website, really integrates with one another, where each mouse click will take you on the website, whether that is the back end mouse of what it will take you or what you can visually see on the website. Next, we have the database schema. We will be using around 6 databases, and we will be using a user's database, elections, candidates, votes, ballots, and authentication logins. So for users, this will hold their first and last name, their social security number, which will be their user ID, their registered voting party, their registered voter party, along with the email. Emails are really just for incentives to vote. We will be sending little like GIFs or certificates, because you know how in the real world, when you vote, you get an I voted sticker to show that, oh, like, you're a participating citizen and you are part of the change that you want to see. So in your email, you will get the same thing, so you can feel accomplished, like, oh yes, like, I am an upstanding citizen just doing my civic duty. We will also have an elections database, and this will hold the region. This really goes with the region that they're in, because presidential election is not the only election that there is. There's also county executive, mayor, governor, all of that. So that will be that database. We also have a candidates database, which will hold the candidate information, and the summaries for the candidate. And then we have the votes, which is more for us. We will tally up all the votes that we get so that we can send it to government officials to be counted in the election so that the results can be displayed. And then we have the ballots because, like I said, each election is not a presidential election, so each election has different ballots. Also, each state, county, all of that, Providence, all of that has different ballots because they're all voting on different things. So we need to keep that in check. Then we will have authentication logins. This is more for us to make sure that each citizen is voting one time and one time only. Next, I will go over the budget and the time frame scope that we have. Since it is a website, we do not have many materials that we need to use, more back-end materials, so we need to have a domain hosting, which will be around $100 to $500 per year. And our timeline spans from, hold on, let me count. Definitely at least a year. You cannot what's it called? The Eiffel Tower was not built overnight. This is a new process that involves real people and government tendencies. So we need to take our time to make sure that everything will be working well. Yeah, so it's going to take at least 50 weeks, which is a year. I think it's 53 weeks in a year. Yeah. So the most lengthy process will definitely be gathering the voting information, gathering the candidate information, and then summarizing it. Because we will be using the same process as like newscasters and like the same fact checking process as Twitter does. Because you can look up literally anything on the internet, but it's all gonna be true. But we need all of our information to be true and factual, so we have to cross check a lot of things. Because all news channels are biased, like I'm not gonna lie. So we have to see what we can use in the summaries and what we cannot. So that will take the most time, and then making it into summaries will also take the most time. That is projected to take at least 6 to 8 weeks. And everything else is around like website development and bias monitoring will take it should be at least a month because it's a lot of candidates, like I said, a lot of different ballots, a lot of different elections. So this is a continuous thing. But to get it started up, it will take at least a month. And then we need marketing and outreach that will take at least 5 weeks as well. But since this is a new process and a lot of people are stuck in their ways, so we need to do a lot of convincing that this is a safe and reliable system to use. Thank you for listening.
Now for the conclusion. In conclusion, Vote.AI represents a comprehensive and secure approach to modernizing the voting process through thoughtful system design, ethical considerations, and user-focused innovation. From gathering stakeholder requirements and modeling the system to developing prototypes and refining features based on feedback, each phase of the project emphasized usability, transparency, and trust.